because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
Thought the game was over, but it's only just begun.
What is going on, Halloween Kills fans? This is the Late Night Massacre where no one is safe. I want to go over Halloween Kills. If you guys haven't seen the extended cut, you're going to love it. Definitely check it out. The digital copy is out now, January 11th. The physical copy finally comes out in a few weeks. This is going to be an interesting video because I kind of want to bring my own eyes to the take of the changes I would make to Halloween Kills. So I want to go over my top three reasons or top three changes that I would make for Halloween Kills. And there's probably going to be more of them. And guys, this doesn't mean that I think it's a bad movie. I think it's one of my favorite Halloween sequels. If you're a Michael Myers fan, a Michael Myers fanboy, and just love Halloween in general without picking at it so much, like, I love this movie with a passion. I really do. And I think there definitely could have been changes. It's every Halloween that I've seen, there could have been more changes to these films. And I think at this point, guys, Halloween Kills is a really good film in a different way, and it's really based off of Michael and really based off of a town that's been traumatized by this masked villain for 40 years. And a battered town, a town that's scared, a town that, finally rises to the top to kind of deal with its own problems. So here are my top three changes I would have made in this film. Number one, Sheriff Brackett. Sheriff Brackett was the sheriff in the original 1978 film. And Sheriff Brackett's daughter was killed by Michael Myers in that film. Now going to Halloween Kills, he is a security guard at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. And really has no part. I mean, kind of thrown in there, and that's just me at the end of the day. Says Laurie's name. Allison walks in with blood on her hands, and he's just like, Laurie. And that's, after she said Laurie's her mother's name, or her grandmother's name, and he just said Laurie. He had some really vanilla parts in this film. The guy the mental patient, everyone thought that was Michael Myers, fell off the top. He's already at the bottom, and he had a few lines, and the one at the end of the movie where, everyone's entitled to one good scare. Brackett could have had this is what I would have thought Brackett would have came into this movie really well. Just take him out of that uniform. Make him some battered man that's depressed about his daughter being killed. He's watching TV at his house. He's finding out that Michael Myers escaped. And he goes on this rampage to try to kill him. Not saying that I think he would have a good supporting, strong start to this film. And not even just that, though. I'm not saying that he has to do stunt work and he has to be one of the main characters, but could have been a real good supported, strong character that's on a rampage and could get killed in the process in this film. That I would have been happy about. I mean, it seemed like he was thrown in there. I didn't see much emotion from him. Yeah, I guess he was mad that his daughter was killed, and he showed that he was mad, but it just didn't give me the feeling that he was really, messed up from... I don't know. It just, the acting from him just wasn't good, and obviously probably hasn't done a part in a film in a long time. So I just think they could have thrown his character in there probably a different way, but that's just me at the end of the day. Second most thing that I would probably change about this film is the supporting cast in general, not changing them, but changing the way they approach, how they end up in this film. Lindsay Wallace, Tommy Doyle, Marion Chambers. I mean, really did confuse me in a lot of ways because it's like they're all hanging out at this bar. It's just it's just such a cop-out just for have them all hang out in one spot for me. I don't know why. Not saying that it's a bad idea, but, these people you're telling me all these people that were traumatized by Michael Myers, these few individuals are hanging out at a bar. They've been hanging out together, and I just don't get it. I felt like they should be in different places and finding out. Not saying the movie has to be that long. You could have added a little bit more time to the film. Would have added a little bit more time, but at least, if Tommy Doyle is somewhere else, or Lindsay Wallace is somewhere else in her own life, Marion Chambers is dealing with her own life somewhere else, and they all find out together that Michael Myers escaped, but in separate places. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that they'd all be hanging out in Haddonfield together at a bar and they hang out all the time. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just something where I thought it was a cop-out to do that. But I think they should have, like, separated these characters a little bit and kind of meet in the middle towards the mid-film to know that Michael Myers is alive, and then they could start doing what they were doing in this film, which I had no problem with. But, probably another change I probably would have made for the film when it comes to supporting cast and how they're dealing with the problem of Michael Myers in Haddonfield once more again. Now, the last issue I'm going to have with this film is going to be the hospital scene in general. Okay, a lot of time in this hospital between chasing the wrong Michael Myers to the top of the roof, falling down off the roof. Obviously, the trauma from all of Haddonfield, people are getting hurt, people are brought to the hospital, and, the mob starts to collect at this point. Laurie is taking a backseat to this film and is not doing much in this film, which we knew that she was taking a backseat to this film and wasn't going to do much of anything. So, going forward with this hospital scene, I think they could have done so much more with it, especially with Michael Myers' character. Now, I'm not trying to copy Halloween 2 with the hospital scene, but Laurie could have probably done a little bit more in this film. Not saying that she should have sat in bed all the time, which she didn't. She got up and she tried, but obviously that big decision of stabbing her in that 2018 film was a big one, because then it kind of, made her put the seatbelt on and sit tight until she gets to Halloween Ends. Now, they could have done so much with this hospital, okay? They did almost nothing with this hospital. You just saw people running, getting hurt, dead bodies. There was nothing much to this hospital, okay? Which they could have done so much more. Michael Myers could have went to the hospital. The power could have went out. They could have went to the hospital. He's just running through. They could have made this probably one of the best scenes in Halloween history. I mean, I'm not even kidding with this hospital scene. They could have brought Michael to the hospital without a lot of people there, and, a good amount of people there, middle of the night, power's out. He cuts the power. He goes into the hospital. He starts just killing everybody in his path in that hospital. Maybe Laurie escapes, and she gets to a car, she gets somewhere safe, and that's when Michael starts going back to his house after the hospital. So, I mean, there could have been so much with this scene. I mean, oh my God, it gets me excited just thinking about it. That hospital scene could have been something. I mean, I'm not talking Rob Zombie form, where it could have just been massed like crazy blood, but a bloodbath, but it could have been a really crazy Halloween scene in this film. I'm not even gonna lie. So that's all I gotta say really about the hospital scene and what they could have done with it. But overall, guys, I'm not, these are just changes I would have made in the process. Unfortunately, these weren't added in. But I like this film the way it is. Of course, every Halloween film that I've seen, I would have made a lot of changes to every film, but I still like the films regardless. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. If you guys have hit the subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button. We cover this news on Halloween Kills and everything else every single day, so definitely check it out. And we will see you guys later. You guys have a great, fantastic day, and I will see you on the next one.